Yeah, I think Alistar being able to find that in the back half going to really help Weibo with the fact that they lack that true tank. So being able to pop that ultimate, catch some CC, and try and get off 2 spell rotations in the fight could be really nice for Hong and Weibo. But
and take their dragon. Now, you do lose quite a bit here by giving up grubs, right? Breathe is going to make great use of them later on in the game. Even Xiaohu is going to be able to do his thing. You've got one really strong solo laner and one pretty damn good one. But the FPX solo laners as well should be able to hold their own at least. But if Weibo start getting advantages, these turrets will melt.
Once they are able to get the 1v1 going, as Breathe is absorbing solo XP and solo gold, whereas Sheer is sharing. So I'm curious how much longer Weibo want to keep this up, because they really are trading power into the Kaisa for power into the Gwen.
Oh, this is going to be real bad. Sheer is going to have to run away, and he is stuck. The triple threat of Weibo is here. First blood going to be picked up by Tien.
Yeah, Tien burns the ult, going to be gifted the kill. Of course, no flash on this Gwen.
Oh, he got spotted.
Was spotted there, though. Nice toggle from our observers. See if Breathe
Wait, did he
there.
not? I don't think Breathe saw him, and now the equalizer on top of his head. Doesn't matter that you exhaust him. That's plenty of damage.
I guess Breathe didn't see him, as that was a little funky, Yanni.
Well, he's been able to get his. Doesn't mean that he hasn't been able to be too active so far.
I'm still just so shocked that Breathe went down there. That was such an
Too busy
awesome
breathing.
Yeah, and Hong.
Okay.
Walk down into the river and get found and
oh.
probably go down.
Yep, yeah, he's going to go down. Shadow was able to get there in time. Picks up 15 seconds with multiple members of Weibo on the bottom side. Perhaps a dive and a Drake is in the cards.
It's still cleaning up the
It is definitely in the cards.
Hong.
Hong is just going to drop his ultimate down and tank up this turret, and they mob Sheer.
No chance to win out on that dive, as Sheer has to get through and am secured for just the dive bot for Weibo. So again, on paper, not exactly these. Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait, okay. So Tien could not steal it, but Shadow is stuck back here. Is he actually able to get out? Yeah, Tien not going to commit his flash. He saw multiple members in the area, and it's into the game.
Yep. Yeah, I think the idea is that they're going to try and play outside of the range of the Zero and around it, as Breathe going to get caught.
It's going to be hard to do when Care goes all the way in, and he finds his second kill of the game. Now, let's see if Xiaohu is going to look for more here. Does have the Spirit Rush available. Charm is not going to land, and the rest of Weibo cannot catch up.
Right on out of there. And this is not bad for FPX, who continue to farm up these side lanes for Weibo, looking for these plays bot and not really finding anything.
Oh no, his leap got interrupted, and the tank up is going to be there. And the Ignite will not give it over to Hung. That means Xiaohu will get his first of the game. This low damage, high uptime RE. They will. Nobody on the Dragon yet for Weibo, which means they may fancy themselves a fight here. Herald down to about 5,000 HP. Tien does have his ultimate available. The Herald is getting chunked even lower. Looks like they're looking to go all the way in. It's smite and secured by Shadow, but Shadow is caught in the pit with 2 members of Weibo, but now Hung is in there, and sure, he's got his ultimate, but the rest of his team is able to buy space for him to be able to walk out, but the objective does go to FPX.
So that Dragon take will be grabbed in the back half by Weibo, but it's delayed, and in that time where it's delayed, Care gonna not just pick up the outer turret, but Shui also dropping that Rift Herald. They should be able to get a crash.
This will be good, and a lot of teams, they'll make the breakneck pace play of trying to dive. Xiaohu does not have his ultimate available, so maybe we'll see a move like that happen here. Assume is coming through as well. The turret is going to fall, and they're going to look for Xiaohu. The charm is out, but here comes Awesome to the backline, but he gets punted into the turret, but there's the Emperor's Divide, as Hong has to flash away as he watches his Ahri fall.
Accepting that it's going to be dropped and finding a lot of gold they can throw in their pockets now, and that lead as they come back out on the map continues as Care is eliminating the spot outer turret.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's on 2 items now. That's a huge lead. He's up about 1,500 gold.
Or there, going to get the bad news and give his team info. They should be dropping this turret. They don't need to look for that one. It's going to fall on its own as Breed takes care of business.
I'm always worried when he walks into an unwarded bush now because of what's happened earlier. But FPX, and I think making a bit of a miscue there,
He's
right?
going to take his time picking it up, and let's see if we can get other stuff done on the Gwen. Speaking of him, we'll have a Nashor's Tooth coming in pretty soon, as that is the new build, and Hong has been caught flashless.
Yeah, he's near nobody. He's trying desperately to get back to his team. The bullet time, but they're undeterred. Our FPX, Zhui is going to get credit for that kill, and the Otacon will be started. Breathe does have a teleport available if they want to fight a 5v4. We know Otacon can do a lot of shred, but it looks like Weibo are not interested.
Likely to be the withdraw this game with just the lack of damage and skirmishing that we've seen going on and going around. I will say the scary part about this, upcoming dragon, this is, oh wait, wow, Rose is
Yep.
I'm a little bit surprised about that. As not a lot of kills on the board, don't feel like a ton of damage has been traded around, but Weibo going to play the lane first before they play the objective. FPX thinking the same thing. Kara doing a decent job trying to hold the choke here, but it doesn't. No turrets being taken, no use of his Azir passive here, just standard ones holding.
Uh-oh.
Care.
They found Care. He's got to flash
Good
away,
flash.
so not going to have that tool to go back in, but they're going to go for the fight. Teleports are coming in. Down goes Pantheon as Xiaohu does have a couple of charges to go in. Maybe land a big charm. Flashes are getting burnt, but here comes the Equalizer on the other side. Breathe is going to use the Hollowed Mist to try to get away, and it looks like he will. Xiaohu is out of dashes. Sheer is shoving them away, and the Dragon started by FPX.
It should be enough for FPX to get the dragon, and do want to credit Care with that fight, Yanni, because the engage was onto him. Once they saw the Q being used by Azir, that's really what prompted the trigger pull. How Care played that one, even that Equalizer from Sheer just to split him up. No, they didn't find him looking the back half. But potentially
We're fighting
There's
again.
Breeze
Teleports
now.
are coming in. Tiana's joined the fight. Light is here too. Big double knockups coming through. This could be a bad one for FPX. His Shadow's got to flash out, but they're able to trade back on the Hong. Sheer being a bit of a savior there. Is able to pop if he wants. This singular ward doing a lot of work. Just letting Weibo know that FPX are in the area. They have a vague idea of where they're at, but they lost the mid wave.
I like what FPX is doing here. They had the control. They got the fast track to mid, and they're at least going to take the outer before they look at this dragon. As again, it has to be
And now it's
ripped
low.
by Weibo.
2,000, 1,000 secured, and here comes the fight. The knockup is onto Shadow. Here comes the Equalizer on multiple members, splitting the fight. Awesome got to the back of the fight too, and he flashes away. Care is relatively safe. And the Emperor's Divide knocks them all away. And the only one left standing is Tien. But he looks like Tien at a Dragon Ball Z because he's just a chump. A triple kill for Awesome.
A big fight for FPX in another game one. Awesome gets his hands on this Kaisa. And FPX playing with direction, playing sound here against Weibo in this first game. And punishing this composition, Yanni, as I know that some of these wins from FPX haven't really been quite, as convincing as what we want to see. But this draft from Weibo getting punished heavily by FPX, who are playing really well in this game.
FPX, their map movements have been sublime, Cubby. This is what you expect out of a team in Group Ascend. Doesn't matter that they're 0-4.
That one on the board of the win column. So a real opportunity for them to at least take this game and then try and have 2 chances to take the series here. As
This
big
is a nice
engage
fast play by Weibo. Going golden is Sheer. A couple of members going to have to wait to get there. Here comes the bullet time as Sheer goes down. Now it's a 5v4. Awesome to the back line. He's got the LPL. Kaisajin just buying time, but Zhui is going to fall in the back half. Care. He's going to make big plays. He's flashing on Breathe, and he takes him out, and he puts the turret up too. And now he's stuck in a 2v1 on the wrong side of the map. This is going to be a little sketchy. Care with 2 kills. One more charge on Xiaohu to fly in and try to land a charm, but a good shift away. But now he's not close to the turret. The flash getting burnt by Tien. Going golden is Care, but I don't think he's going to be able to fight his way out. He will fall, and Weibo get a lifeline back into the game.
As they're going to skip over that turret and see what they can do walking in here, but this is scary. Shadow.
Okay, Tien going to get engaged on first, way off to the side, just trying to keep Breathe at bay. Hong in the middle of the back line, but he's getting melted. Equalizer in a perfect spot. Xiaohu is burning alive. So is Misfortune. What a play by Sheer and friends. And FPX are going to ace Weibo and potentially take game 1.
That's it. Goodbye, Gwen. Goodbye, Weibo. As FPX, another day, another series, another game 1 win against a higher tier opponent than them. As I really was impressed by this game from FPX in the back half.
They played it so clean. Great play by Weibo to try to get themselves back in it, but man, their wave control, their side laning was so much better than Weibo's, and that's the big issue.
With the dredge line, you gotta wait for after it hits and Nautilus bounces back, then you can play him away and try and get away from that auto attack. As he needs to pretty much take Glacial Augment in order to get that off, but you can match it, so we'll see if...
A little low on the HP department, but Zhui has no summoners whatsoever. Thresh, early game, is not tanky at all. He has no scaling armor. He just has his base armor and souls.
Oh, Tien.
Do hit level 2 first.
Wait. Xue just hex flashed in.
Oh no.
Oh,
this
no.
is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. Xue, my guy,
Wait.
please. This is a damn disaster. He's going to go down. First blood over to Tien. Shadow is going to come through, but that's less time for him to clear his jungle.
Shadow one camped and came. They base, but they're lying in wait.
And you can see Tien is already on the way. No flay available for Xue right now, but they might be able to just walk it out. The Hex Flash is going to come through. Wind becomes lighting on top of Xue. He's going to land the hook, but get hooked himself. But there's the Chompers. They're going to do a lot of work. Knockups are coming through. Xue's going to go down, but Awesome is going to be able to get a kill. The reset isn't as fast because of the slow, but Hong has run out of space, and it's a double kill for Shadow. A nice turnaround from FPX.
Hold off of. And it will be the first grubs being taken by Tien, so win out on the neutrals, but unforced error from them in the bot side, and I think really mismanaged by Light and Hong.
Yeah, and then, FPX, they went and tried to greed for the dragon and
TP top, whereas Breathe has TP up to get involved, so Weibo do have an opportunity to find a numbers advantage here if they really want it, but looks like they're okay with dropping this one.
I am a little surprised. The Felios has a BF sword in the inventory. Easily the strongest member, or maybe at least matching with Shadow. 5 strong to head over to these grubs. Breathe does have teleport available, and the grubs have been started by Shadow. Teleport's going to be coming in behind the pit. Hong and Light on one side. The pincer could come in hot and heavy soon. They're going to take one away, but the team is split up. Cares to go over the wall, and the hook misses on Xiaohu, but Xiaohu's going to die on the one side. Meanwhile, in the back of the fight, Shadow is caught, and he is down. Breathe gets that kill. Tien is going to fall, and FPX is winning the fight. Asuma's getting excited, but Sheer trying to flash to get in the way of Hong, and he wasn't able to do so, but they're flashing after Hong. They've got plenty of damage and the kill, but there is the ultimate coming through from Breathe. He's caught in a 1v4. Can he find Care? He can't find Care. He don't care. Double kill picked up, and FPX running that fight.
Care, that was looking pretty nice, pretty schnasty at the back half there on the Thresh.
Yeah, that was a well-timed hook. Oh. It's just
nice toggle. We missed the vision break. That was big. Yeah. We return live. Dives on both sides. Top laner's going down.
Oh, we're going to get the Lantern in for Care. He's going to take one turret shot on the other side, but
that's big.
Breathe is able to dodge out of the rocket. Now the question is, how long is it going to take for them to take out Breathe?
Okay, he's dead.
He's trying to sprint away, but yeah, no Drakehound step left. He's going to sidestep. Who's going to... Oh, he might give the kill to Awesome here. This is really bad. Breathe. There wasn't a good person to give it to, but man, that's rough.
Yes, again, they have a little bit of a gold lead. They have a ton of scaling on their side with the double marksman and the Lilia. And for Weibo, we said early on that the onus was kind of on them to make some plays here, Yanni. The first few plays we've seen from them have not been good. Xiao has really not had an impact on this first pick Talia this game. I know he got counter-picked, but it's been Kara having a much bigger impact on this game and, frankly, on this series.
Yeah, that first ultimate was not it for Xiaohu, and Helios has had a couple of picks. I mean, now I'm looking for Light to be the guy because he hasn't been disrupted. But the problem is, Awesome is just ahead by quite a bit, even though the gold is even.
Of respecting this, as Weibo actually snows us all the way into the red buff. Now we might get a fight or a skirmish.
All right, let's see if we can blow up the Nautilus, but the Knockup's going to go on to carry. Here comes the public execution.
The synergy.
He got pulled away! Oh, the anti-synergy, as you said, and Awesome is going to get a kill, and it's going to be time for him to potentially reset.
Sheer.
Light's going to have to flash over the wall, but they're going to land the Knockup on the Sheer, but no Swirled Seas have landed. The hook just to get over the wall. Xue trying to get close, but that play was doing nothing, and now the play is split. He's got a flash back over the wall. Awesome on one side, Sheer on the other side. Shadow ready to go, trying to make plays. Sheer in the thick of things, knocking up two. They're going to look for Tien. Tien's going to go down. Awesome gets another kill. Will they find more? Flash, knock up, chunked, but Breathe in melee range, cutting them up. Awesome going a little too far, but he flashes the wall to find Xiaohu. He's in melee range of Breathe, and he don't give a damn. He picks up another one. Triple kill for Awesome. Hell out of this. This guy has played incredibly this game, and look at the picture-in-picture. We're in a fight. Supermega Death Rocket not going to land. The Herald does go down. Let's see if we're going to get any more fighting. Good dodges on the Swirl Seeds. Tien onto the side. Hook coming down on the Sheer. But Hong is caught out. The Knockup is there. They found Awesome. Awesome down to half. Awesome is dead as Breathe is chopping him down. Sheer's on the other side trying to buy space, but he goes down. But multiple members going to sleep. Can they capitalize? This is Care's fight to win, but he can't get close. He's got no mana. Breathe looking to walk out of this one, but he can't dodge out on enough swirl seeds. It was a disaster, but the crisis was averted. Or was it? Wait, Care. He's looking to kill Light, but he gets knocked up. He's got to flash away. Hook goes down. Shadow finds Light, and now he's gone golden. Lantern. But the Lantern is there. Tien is walking up. Tien, why are you walking up to this? That's why you sustained just enough to survive. No mana on the members of FPX. It was ugly, Cubby, and I'm not really sure who won it. But FPX are still hanging tough.
Down mana. He was and also the heroics of Zhui with that Lantern. As we got to return to live because another fight being set up. Breathe not spotted yet.
All right.
Oh, they found
Does finally get spotted out. Hook does not land, but look who gets pulled in. It's the Scion. Rift Herald is going to get deployed in the middle of the fight, maybe looking for knockups and CC. But now, Dragon is low, going in, and Tien takes it away. Now he's alive for now, but Breathe. He finds Awesome. Awesome gets shielded, but it's not going to be enough. He stands tall and dies, but there's multiple members. It's Benny by time, but on the backside, Tien is trying to buy some space to protect his team. He ends up going down for it, but it could have been a lot worse, Cubby.
Shadow's been so big in these fights. He survived a couple, getting really strong on this Lilia.
Game 1 MVP, looking to make it 2 straight. And looking to lead FPX to their first win in Group Ascend. They're looking to try to dive on this top side.
3 or 4 of these dragons, and stopping them at 2 could be big, but at the moment, Weibo don't have control over that bot side of the map, and before Dragon spawns, have really pulled Otacon aggressively. Is that Weaver's Wall might just secure it? And yeah, FPX going to drop it for that soul point.
Yeah, now they're kind of lost here. They're not going for this Dragon. We see some pings on the mid lane, but they don't have a wave there quite yet.
And no one's on the Dragon. You can't rip Baron at 25. I think that this is like fake pressure they actually might want to fight.
We want to just go. We want to just go. It's a 4v4 for right now. Tien is the one that gets tagged. The Shadow going to get some movement speed from the Baron. Tien so low and out of this fight. Hook does not quite land. But here's a multi-man sleep. It's going to be only one because the cleanse gets used. But so much space. Xiaohu's on the wrong side of the fight. And Care finds him. And he's going to look to find Tien on the backside. But Breathe is able to get in there. And Light is doing a lot. Awesome gets knocked up. But now they're going to turn onto Hung. And Care is able to flash back over the wall to get away from Breathe. And Light will fall too. FPX are creating discourse in these fights. And they have an opportunity to take the Baron and shock the LPL.
Just going to be a game win tonight, Yanni. They sure as hell want that series win. Might be able to do so against Weibo. As again, with how hectic this mid game got, some of the carries for FPX got astronomically fed. Fight from FPX as they come back out with Baron on their shoulders and a Dragon in their sights.
The old Corky Pincer gets him every time, Cubby. Let's see if Weibo is going to fight around for this Dragon or just let it go. Remember, it is not soul, it's just soul point. So Weibo will not go after it. They will allow more time for Light to scale. Now, looking to take this one out. They're going to be able to bail out Awesome as well if they want it. It looks like Weibo, no ability to fight, but Care gets picked off on the side lane. Huge for Weibo. Not going to be as high, right? Look at this Baron power play. It's only about plus what? 1,100? Maybe less. There's a teleport. Tien on the backside. Awesome is cut off for right now, but he's able to operate at least a little bit, but Breathe up front.
Can't really auto.
A lot of damage. The knockup is there, and Shear's going to go down, but a couple members going to be put to sleep. Big knockups there, but Awesome is still A-okay. He's going to get slowed up by Light, rooted up as well, but they're looking for more. Shadow is doing so much. He's so fast, but Light trying to make a hero play, and he gets punished for it, and he goes down. And now the rest of the fight, Shadow is zooming in. The Legos are on the ground. Breathe takes out Care, and Shadow, he wants more. He's always wanted more of this game, but he won't get it as he's forced away.
Did make it all the way to the inner. They will sack that to make sure that they are 5 strong on mid with Sheer TPing in. Shadow with the passive is going to keep it going on to Breathe.
Breathe is going to go to a sleep. Tien a little too far up, and a hook lands onto the Nautilus. Hong's going to go down. Sheer is going to flash away. The resets are out as Awesome.
It's all FPX.
Has a lot of room right here. Flash hook! It burns the cleanse out, so Light has no sums, and he's going to get run down by the deer and the rest of the squad, but he gets out as much damage as he can before he falls.
Shadow.
Breathe on top of Awesome. Awesome trying to live, but he can't. But Breathe will breathe his last, as Xiaohu can only watch as the soul will be claimed by FPX.
And Shadow's looking to clinch this game for FPX again. With how bloody this game's gone, absolute solo queue numbers being thrown up by a few of our players as Shadow monumentally fed in this game as the Lilia Jway burns the flash, gets the cleanse off Light, who, I will say the green-white setup, I do like
hang
that
on,
for Light
picture,
in
picture.
these fights, but was just not enough. It's picture-in-picture. You called it out. Hong's dead, and Shadow's out.
Yeah, that's despicable. That should never happen on the map once we're out of this replay. And Tien is going to die. He's going to get knocked up. He's going to fall. FPX are going to go and take their second Baron of the game, Cubby.
Face this Lily, or really just deal with everything that she's throwing out. The saving grace, you got to imagine if Weibo have any chance, it has to be Breathe in the back half. He is quite big on this Ambessa. But between Infernal Soul, the 4+ items coming in on these Marksmen and the Lilia, and now Baron to boot.
It's going to be difficult as the siege is on in the top side.
I love how Shadow's the one who's stopping things mid, too, because he knows with his move speed, he can just always be involved in these fights regardless. Sheer doesn't want to separate from his team because he wants to tank things up in the front line, and with these objectives falling, resets onto Awesome. Sheer takes a lot with Care.
People are getting low. Care's almost dead.
That's a lot of
Care's got to get out of there. Are they going to turn
the
around?
back
Breathe got
the
hooked.
sweep.
The Flay is in. They're going to go. Public execution on the backside. Manages to find a kill. Breathe is going to be in stasis from GA. Shadow's away from the team. The rest of Weibo's around. The hook was mistimed. And there's a huge seismic shove. And they find a couple as Weibo are able to stave off FPX. Weibo have made many mistakes. FPX are known for making mistakes so far. Flash hook does not land. Jway wanted to put the nail in the coffin. Gonna have to flash away. Xiaohu, the knockups are there. Big blocks coming out from Hong. Shadow is golden, and he gets seismic shove, and he goes down. But it's got to be Awesome, who's got to try to find a way to get close, and he just can't. It's a 1-for-1 for now. Hook does not quite land. They get the turret, but nothing more.
Shadow, if it finds either of those members, will be significant.
All right, Breathe is not quite close to the fight yet. Sheer just trying to buy some space for his squad. Xiaohu is just throwing rock after rock, but they're not quite landing. Breathe gets spotted out, and here comes the Elder. It's been started up. There is a ward on it in the pit. What a hook. What a hook. They caught Hong. Beautiful play by FPX. The Weaver's Wall is there, and Shadow's going to go over the wall. He's going to flash on a priority targets. Light is cleansed, but you can't cleanse that. He's low. He's trying to survive. Public execution for Breathe on the back line, and Shadow crashes on him. Breathe is caught between a rock and a hard place. He's slowed. He's down. FPX, do you believe they take the 2-0 over Weibo?
Oh, the Phoenix had to die a lot to bounce back, but no one is able to take down FPX for the 5th time in a row in Group Ascension. They pick up their first series win after quite the surprise in a 2-0 over Weibo Gaming.
There is solid interactions that you can go for and understand if the Alistar engages, either you can hook onto him, intercept the headbutt, delay the pulverized combo from coming out, you both proc Aftershock, and then boom, it's like an even trade. Yeah, they have to really rely on Satab's little choke that he is holding.
Oh, Betron, okay.
As an escape route. Mako's trying to threaten him, but he's only got CC. Gala finally arrives to the party. 800 on the Dragon. Beitron flashes because he knows they were about to steal it just from the back of an 80 carry, but without a flash, Beitron is open to get swamped by Rookie on the Emperor's Divide, and it's the first Dragon going to ThunderTalk, but IG say, cool, we get 2 kills.
Yikes, you could see that one coming from a mile away. ThunderTalk could really index into getting themselves this Drake, and the positioning just left them so out of sorts quite a lot. Now, straight onto the grubs goes JJ. He's going to be able to pick up at least the first one, but Beitron and Feather are in the area.
Yeah, Beitron now has Smite over JJ, and with the strength of his support, being able to make his way here. Rookie tries to face check, and even though he's not in danger of dying to a Nautilus support that is only level 4 versus level 6 is here. Hang on. What about a Sign that tries to join the party, but Hoya blocks it. Beitron throwing and pinning JJ into the wall. But remember, this is a Scorpion with no flash, and he's got nowhere to go. JJ just merely interrupting his escape route, and the Shy is gifted a kill. 5 grubs, 6 grubs away from IG, but you have now given over nearly a 2,000 gold advantage, kind of for free.
Oh, what?
Now they're maybe jumping onto Mako. He still has a flash, so he's just biding his time until he has to flash over the wall. But JJ throws out the Crescent Guard, but now the Crescent Guard has run out.
Yeah.
And maybe he is cooked. And you know what? I might have just cast a curse at IG, and for that, I apologize. At IG, we're about to hit 1 item power spikes before the second Dragon of the game and the second Grubs rotation. Oh
no.
Did you see that sidestep by JJ to not give Hoya any more distance on the public execution? Cleanly played by the jungler of IG.
Really nice little fancy footwork, nice mechanics.
The river.
And right now, ThunderTalk, you can see they still want to go in. Betron stepping up very aggressively right now. Setup does have the ulti available to potentially try to split this fight. But goes wide.
Oh, Beitron flashed forward, but he got CC'd! He was looking for an impale, but he has no time to set it up.
Around. It's just really unfortunate, but you can see the vision set up right here around this bottom side of the map. There's just so much more vision for IG. They knew what was happening. Now there's an attempt at a play on the other side. Shy gonna get jumped.
I don't think he has enough mana for the unstoppable onslaught. He's just gonna accept his fate. Good setup by Satab to help Hoya with the 2v1 for that play and get nothing.
Oh no. Oh,
Wait,
maybe they still get
rewarded.
something, Gala.
There's still a feather sword for Gala. He pops it, but he's got 3 members on him. He's not escaping that one. It's saved for ThunderTalk. Thankfully for IG, they're the first ones to the grub pit. It doesn't seem like ThunderTalk will go for any contest whatsoever. Maybe H1 has a smite, but Jeje has been able to preserve it because he's got Gala and Mako assisting him here on the objective take. 4 grubs total over to IG, being able to take the second dragon as well, as we saw from the previous play. For the sake of consistency and for your squad's overall progression, they gotta maintain it. They locked down Mako, but he still has an ultimate, and the impale is broken by the unbreakable will, but Hoya now lands the public execution, at least takes out the support of IG. The Shy is flanking Satab and 1xN on the right side, but he's got no support. He's forced to flash away. 1xN just might run him down. The flash from Beachwan finds Jeje, the crescent guard. He dashes away. Here comes Rookie. Go sweep. The Emperor's Defy pushes him right into Gala's waiting arms. The feathers rip Satab and 1xN asunder. Beachwan's got no more damage dealers. He's got to run for it, but this Scorpion just might be bird food as Gala, can he deny the other blast cone? Not going to happen. Beitron should be able to escape from now. He's going to lead him into Hoya, and now both of these champions might just turn it around back on the Shy since Gala abandoned him. It's getting close, but the shields from Hoya, and there's just not much damage left in the tank for Shy. He's going to try to run for it. Mako flashing forward. He wasn't coming back, but the slow by the Skarner W. This is a clown show, bro. Oh my goodness.
There's feats just picked up in and amongst everything else. This huge Shurima shuffle pushing everybody back over. The fact that Setup just about gets caught by that is crazy. Puts them into the bounce house, and it makes that team fight very easy for Aichi to be able to win. There's a little bit of Clown Fiesta on the back end of this one. The Shy stepping up and getting abandoned by Gala. If Gala follows him there, they probably do actually get a couple more kills onto ThunderTalk. Instead, that one ends up being a little bit of a mistake.
There's a lot of fumbling and a lot of stumbling, but you know what? Rookie is having a very clean game. And
frontline protection, something this composition should be able to do pretty well for them. Going to be able to grab themselves this Rift Herald as well, so the objectives really have been in IG's favor. The kills too, it's turned into about 3k gold lead right here for IG. Might expand even further with this top lane tier 1 falling. And for the minute, ThunderTalk, they really need to find a way to get back into this game. They're down in terms of gold pretty much across the board.
Be one of the few to step up forward first. Mako will greet him alongside the Shy. I think they briefly saw that it was 2k HP, but yep, Otacon ripped. Flowers uncontested by the rest of ThunderTalk, and that public execution did not land, and now Beitron is all by himself with the Rookie. Maybe they can fight their way through the bot side, but the Shy is a giant wall, and Gala punishes all who try to pass through the wall. ThunderTalk have nowhere else left to go except backwards, and Jeje will ensure that Satab will fall as well.
Brilliant play right there from the Shy. Gets a double knock-up straight into the ulti combo and is able to just buy so much space, so much time. At the same time as that's happening, Beitron's in the backline of that fight, attempting to get things done there, really isn't able to do so. And because the Rift Herald was still in the back pockets of the IG members, look at that, 4 of the grubs, going to mean tons of these mites helping rip through these towers. The gold lead has been busted wide open, 6k an advantage for IG. Time and win you team fights.
Oh, now Rookie's looking for Beitron. He tries to flash over the Impale, but it's equalized out by Rookie just casting the Seeker Stasis. ThunderTalk lose out in their jungler once again, now have to defend a dive. Oh, goodness gracious. Satab just lost 3/4 of his HP. 1xN under fire. Mako and JJ flashing forward. Looking for 1xN, but he pops the barrier, but the Shy wants a piece of that goal. The Kaisa too. Meanwhile, IG on the left side, they're just killing ThunderTalk members left, right, and center. And Bloxer, I think it would be disingenuous to say that this game is not over, but it's pretty hard to say so, because it is still at 7,000 gold lead, you know, to their credit. You know, it's not been ballooned quite as much, but I mean, come on. The base is all yet to be completely ruined.
Again, and this Skarner has been one of his best picks. Feather also now just gonna fall. It's not done until the Nexus explodes, but game number 2 is gonna be a little bit of a change-up we'd have to hope for from ThunderTalk.
Now, historically speaking, Bloxer, the times that we have seen IG get super close to closing the game out, one of two things happens. One, they approach the Nexus, they siege, and then we see the Shy have a happy gaming moment.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's a 4v5 against IG, or in favor of the enemy team against IG. And then maybe there's a chance. And IG have lost a game because of that in the past. We're going to see if history does repeat itself, or if they will progress past that point. Good public execution, but a better defense by the rest of IG to defend their backline from getting swarmed by ThunderTalk's divers. And it's just no use whatsoever. Every attempt by ThunderTalk is not effective, and IG will take the first game in this series.
Yeah, really quickly as well, pre-Baron. This is a 24-minute game, just about going to be 25 seconds once they're actually able to take all of this down. Setab gonna slow things down just a little bit, but he is well and truly dead right here. Knocked up, taken down. That's gonna be the ace to clean this game out. 25-minute game here from IG in game number 1. ThunderTalk summarily dismantled.
I mean, when you look at how much disengage that is available at IG's draft, it is scary.
And it still does a ridiculous amount of work once you get into that mid-game.
Jeje is leaning forward for a dive. They can make it happen. Maokai, one of the best turret divers in the game. Gotta be careful, though. It is a Leona, but the target is on Ezreal, waiting for him to shift before he commits the twisted advance. Jeje gonna flash away so that he doesn't take too much turret damage, and they can always look for another dive here after the turret damage has stopped ramping up. But Gala... but they have the bailout. Well executed, well timed. This bot lane is off to the races.
This is exactly what you want to see right here. Both of the kills, too, going down onto Gala.
With that move. Now, Beichuan has a moment where he's level 5. Alongside Feather, 3v1 versus the Shy. He's trying to clear out the wave as fast as possible, but he pops the Ghost. And now he's running away from safety. But you know what? I wonder how much time the Shy can stall here, and if anyone is going to get assist gold, it's just Hoya. So that is probably the best scenario that the Shy could have hoped for.
Really is. He's able to get the wave into what's a really good state for him, right? You can see it's just going to be pushing into him a little bit at this point.
And putting him into the bailout state before then looking for that final Ren. Just clean stuff from IG. Now, credit to ThunderTalk. They're the first ones to this grub rotation, since IG opted in to use their Callista power to get that first dragon off the map. But IG still in a gold advantage.
So going through 3 would be more than fine, and grabbing that early Mountain Drake is going to make this laning phase a lot easier as well for the members of IG. Now, engage is happening.
Beichuan still has a flash. He's level 6, but they engage right on top of him. Now flashing away after securing the crab. And he pops the Lilting Lullaby just before the Shy is able to close the distance. But the fight on the other side of the river is going haywire for ThunderTalk. IG have done away with Hoya, and they got Setab on the run. No flash, no fate sealed. He's just hoping for either a lucky base or an execute to the tower.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Sapling... Oh, it's just out of vision. That's so unfortunate right there. It's very much a win more kind of buff. If you never really get near the towers, you can't use them effectively. That's what IG are going to be banking on.
Imagine the mental damage that is done if you are able to beat a team that had 6 grubs over you. And it's not even like ThunderTalk don't have ways to actually make good use of that. You have a Yone, you have a Rumble who can overheat for that. ThunderTalk are now going to all in a 4-man dive on the top side just to shut the Shy down. Lilting Lullaby not even needed. It's just a great amount of CC. But the great answer by IG, 3-manning in the mid lane.
Taking down 1xN. They are going to lose this tower. Like you said, it is a good injection of gold. Mako needs to be a little bit careful here, stepping up into the face of quite a few enemies, but it's a free pushing Rookie on the bottom lane, getting himself a ton of gold, a ton of tower plating.
They're down, but those guys are on the top side of the map. They're not, you know, involved in this play. Yeah.
Ooh, TP, never mind.
Well, the Shy is asking for a bailout, but he's not going to get one anytime soon because Hoya overheats and puts that guy in the dirt.
That's unfortunate. So much damage was being done right there. One pickup. It's so huge. It's such an important thing to have. Mako,
History
no
repeats
flash.
itself. Mako, no flash this time. Absorbs the solar flare. The Fate Seal follows up. Jeje is trying to CC Satab as long as possible, but this bailout is just going to extend the inevitable. Mako falls. The hostile takeover was already used, and IG are now down a tool to brute force their way back into the pit.
Area, but no, not going to be able to do anything here. Actually, might get caught. Hang on.
Jeje is forced to go in, but remember, he doesn't have an ulti. And what a beautiful equalizer! Hoya looked through Jeje's autobiography, knew exactly where he wanted to leave, and laid down the red carpet of death, and Jeje had no choice but to die.
Now you're giving 2 kills over to ThunderTalk and this Chemtech Drake. Exactly what ThunderTalk needed to try to get themselves back into this game. They do not want to be 2-0'd right here.
Hoya now flanking Gala. No flash on the Callista. IG, they're collapsing. And the early game lead that they had for this Callista has just been dashed away by ThunderTalk. It's uncontested. We may have not, you know, said it directly, but our tone was very clear. It was a very bold decision by IG to make, and a risky one at that. And now they might be paying the price as ThunderTalk able to capitalize on some mispositioning by IG and just forcing the play, seeing remnants of what made that ThunderTalk magic happen in the first split of the season.
This is the first gold lead that they've had all series long, and they're really looking to keep pushing it further forwards. Lilting Lullaby gonna land. Nice.
Holy moly!
Oh
I don't know how that Zenith Blade landed, and 1xN is able to get vengeance for himself as that True Shot Barrage just neutralized Gala, and the rest of IG are collapsing once again. ThunderTalk, a far cry from what we saw in Game 1. It's now IG on the back foot, stumbling and falling. ThunderTalk looking large in Game 2.
They're going to get a clean ace right here, and they've also got themselves the Rift Herald to be able to make this push hurt even more. All 6 Grubs too. We talked about how Grubs is a win more kind of buff. Well, ThunderTalk are winning, and here comes the more right now. They're going to be able to pick up 2 towers, maybe even get a charge onto the 3rd.
Definitely potential, since you have 6 Grubs on your side, trying to do as much damage as they can. Yeah. It might die before it gets there.
It will, but still, the fact that you were able to get even that much, you said it was a small gold lead, a modest gold lead. Well, this is now 6,000 gold of an advantage for ThunderTalk.
They're quelled, and now ThunderTalk, there's nearly 6,000 gold ahead. And at this point, IG, they're just hoping for a miracle fight to get themselves back in the game. Otherwise, it is game over. We might just be going to Game 3. The Fate Seal lands onto Rookie. And this is just curtains. This is just a curtsy. Oh my goodness. You see Beitron getting fancy, flashing Q forward, not even needing the Lilting Lullaby. Everyone from ThunderTalk is just styling on Invictus Gaming. The Otacon will be taken afterwards. But at this point, ThunderTalk have everything they need on the next fight to just run into the base.
Yeah, what did I say? I want a game number 3, and ThunderTalk are attempting to deliver right now. Another team fight where IG, they're just stepping up. They feel like they need to do something at this point in the game. They're falling far too far behind on the kind of composition that you can't afford to do that on. They get the Drake. They do. That is something for IG. They have got themselves onto Soul Point, but they're trying, as you are saying, we've got a minute now until Baron's going to spawn. Setab. Is he just caught? Yeah, he's just going to go down here. That's just another kill picked up. Oh, boy. Why there? The champions, you would rather be further behind right here. IG, though, right now struggling to get their own red buff.
Solar Flare fishing, equalizer, beautiful, right in that choke point. The rest of IG's backline forced to retreat as Satab tries to go in. The Soul Unbound keeps him alive. The Shy keeping Hoya and Satab back. But the rest of ThunderTalk can lurch on forward and just annihilate the backline. True Shot Barrage will do a number in Rookie's back. Mako could be falling next. 1xN not able to find it. But ThunderTalk have done enough damage that it's only Mako left. And this is game.
Yeah, this is going to be over right here. They've got themselves a ton of grubs. They can step up. The grubs will spawn. No, they're just going to wait for the wave. Don't want to go in a little bit too far. Looks like it's just going to be a base TP coming out right here from Hoya. With the timers going down. 4 seconds until JJ. 10 seconds until Gala. Way too long for anybody important to be back up and available. We're going to be going to game 3.
Disaster scenario avoided for ThunderTalk. They're able to make the comeback happen, and we're going to game 3. When you look at IG, their damage is very bursty in terms of profile. Not really sustained damage unless Gala goes into the attack speed Varus route. He did this in a prior series. He full cleared his bot red side, and instead of going to the full clear top side, he's looking for an early gank on the bottom side of the map. Mako already bringing the cleanse out of 1xN and Feather. Now Feather has to flash, and Jeje doesn't get a predictive, but he flashes forward, guarantees the kill for IG. Now bot lane is on the board.
Exactly what you want from JJ right here. The Jarvan, very similar to the Vi and the Xin Zhao in that you can gank so effectively early on.
The Shy being able to hit level 6 before Hoya, I think, was able to find a big, massive trade.
JJ?
And with the Sheen, this was something that we saw in another series. Take the first scrub and then immediately bull rush over to the dragon. Not necessarily to start it up for yourself, but just to put some pressure on the enemy team and deny them tempo of being able to complete it for themselves. Shy's got to be careful. It is finding a 1v2, not just yours, but the Maiden as well, but able to keep himself sustained thanks to that Primal Surge.
Yeah, Maiden just does also so much healing, so much drain damage too. JJ, like you said, is going to be able to pick himself up the first grub, grab the Drake, and now wandering his way back up towards the top side of the map to go try and scrap for this next set of grubs.
And redeploying back on the map a little late. They've just conceded the other 2 grubs over to ThunderTalk, but at least it's not 6 grubs again like it was in game 2. But this does set up IG if they want to play for dragon stacking instead of contesting the second rotation of grubs at the same time as the second dragon coming up. Hard to play.
Yeah, it's the much harder path to doing the same thing that we... Oh, hang on, Gala just gonna get jump right here. Takes a huge chunk of damage. 4th shot.
Oh, good flash. Mako gonna stall it, but now he has to block the curtain call as well. Crash down away. Maybe Mako falls, and he was just out of the curtain call range. Mako believed that he would not cost his 80 carry's life by flashing out of the way of the last bullet.
Up a set of grubs for himself. 4 grubs to 2. Looks like it's going to be the trade right now. Good play out of ThunderTalk, really using the long-range engage that you can get out of the Sejuani effectively to make that play almost work. They're going to be annoyed they weren't able to actually grab the kill slow.
Yeah. And hang on. Mako still has a crash down. Should be fine. Gets out over the pit wall. Beichuan not able to stop him from escaping. IG do have a critical mass breakpoint.
Yes.
I want you to elaborate more on that.
Exactly. It's going to be at that 2-item breakpoint right here, coming up pretty soon. Actually, hang on. Rookie's getting massively chased here. He has lots of friends in the area. Mako can go in. JJ can potentially make this into a dive as well. And just without Maiden, this is just going to be so bad.
Mako looks for the Q, doesn't land the stun, but the Magnastorm does connect, and everything else is pretty much easy for IG to follow up on that one. Maiden falls.
It's one of those funny situations where, you know, Silas steals your ulti and does more damage with it than you can. Just Tower's melting right here. We've actually had first tower go down. Once JJ is able to pick himself up,
this has by far been the least violent game of the series. I think both teams are a little more locked in on the win conditions that they're striving for.
Completed a couple of components towards the second IT,
DP.
Getting to the point where they're strong. They're going for this.
That goes wide from Rookie,
Oh,
but the
JJ.
Cataclysm is massive. EQ right onto the backline from JJ. 1xN is in trouble. They blink out Mako, but Zatab is forced to flash away from an incoming piercing arrow. Hoya joins the fight with a TP, but now he's in trouble. The flash is not going to save you this time around. IG explode at 19 minutes.
Up for IG, a second one in their back pocket. 4 of the grubs. This early game really has been JJ favored right here.
We were waiting, Bloxer. All this tension for the first 18 minutes of the game. Once the flash is burned, that is the easiest Cataclysm setup every single time. As Beichuan now tries to find a way to punish Gala, but Jet just steps up, absorbs a deadly flourish in the setup for ThunderTalk. No way to follow up on Gala. Now Beichuan is the one caught out. No flash. This poor rider is going down. And IG continue to steamroll through the game. The Shy gonna manage himself against Hoya. Was down 50% HP, but now there's a chance to collapse on the Yorick. You already have Mako running towards the bottom lane, and Hoya has no flash, praying that the Maiden will bail him out. But the stun from Mako sets up the Shy. Doesn't land the spear, but the ignite from Mako is taking him down. No sustain's gonna come in from that shovel. The Shy puts Yorick into the dirt. IG continuing to accelerate the game.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing through the mid lane right here as well. Not quite going to be able to take this tower down. Some low health bars, but there's no real response available here out of ThunderTalk. They were able to pick themselves up that game in game number 2. They were able to put themselves in a good spot for a few minutes in this one, but unfortunately, in that big previous team fight that we had, no one on ThunderTalk is going to step up, right? Right, Rafa? That would be dumb.
Hoya TP'd in. No one's going to get in. Beichuan tries to look at it, but it's secured. And I don't think ThunderTalk can even get in and take a couple of roses for themselves. They might as well make a bouquet for their incoming funeral, because the rest of ThunderTalk have been exposed, pulled in by the hopes of maybe stealing an objective away from IG. But 1xN forced to flash, cannot escape the Cougar and Demacian Prince of IG. They have the Otacon withdrawals, so they can play as hard as they want to, force as many kills as they can get, and this game is pretty much over.
Disaster here for ThunderTalk.
And now the jungle quadrant doesn't even really belong to ThunderTalk anymore, unless they bring more friends to the party. I don't know who got the blue buff, but I don't think it really matters. IG have done what they wanted. They lured ThunderTalk back into the forest, and here comes the Cougar once again. The rest of IG sinking their fangs into ThunderTalk members one by one. The Shy gonna look for another spear, doesn't quite find it. It's a triple kill for Gala, and the rest of IG continuing to put
series. I'm gonna need this one right here just to be able to crack open the base with 4 grubs available to them as well. The base, the Nexus, is going to be the next target available, and it's just been such a rough game, unfortunately, right here. ThunderTalk not even able to get themselves what would be feats of warfare.
They believe in the same call together. The problem is, being down this much gold, it doesn't matter how good the call is, unless if IG are playing super, super, super poorly, or someone is terribly out of position, none of these fights are winning.
It's going to take a throw right here for ThunderTalk to be able to get back into this game. The inhibitor towers are going to begin to fall. We've got these Baron empowered cannon minions just beginning to bear down onto the base. ThunderTalk, you're going to have to try for one more fight. We know they like to do that. Don't know that it's going to work out.
Shy playing with his food right now in the faces of multiple members of ThunderTalk, while the rest of IG are barreling through the bottom lane. Now 2 inhibitors completely exposed and destroyed in one swift sequence by IG. And they're going to use the power of this Baron minion to start knocking on the Nexus towers. Curtain call opened up by 1xN. Tries to find a window here. The Glacial Prison thrown out by Rookie as he engages onto Feather, forcing him to flash. Beichuan now thinking about trying to step up and look for a counterplay, but Rookie sustains off with the Kingslayer. And the rest of IG gonna step on back. The flash forward. Forward bullet from 1xN does find Rookie. Creates a 5-on-4. And now IG gonna have to respect their time has come to an end in the base of ThunderTalk.
Esports. Now, there's still going to be some questions about them. They just need to clean this one out nicely. Close it out exactly as this game should have been a little while ago. ThunderTalk, here's another last stand. It's going to take so many of them.
The third inhibitor is for the taking. Curtain call stops, or at least delays IG from doing that for now. Attention is turned on to the Nexus Tower. Glacial Prison clips the Shy's Nidalee, forced to flash away. Does not want to drop a death here. Can always recall and look for a TP back. Hoya under fire, flashing away from Jeja's flag and drag. Deadly Flourish thrown out, not finding anything. There's the Cataclysm right at the 2 members that do not have flash. Satab actually still has it, but pops the Chaos Storm, finally flashing backwards. Mako catching him in the Magnus Storm, but ThunderTalk holding their own, standing their ground. Wait a minute, but the Shy puts away Beichuan, and you have to imagine this should be the end of the game. Hoya chasing Gala to the ends of the earth, but then takes an arrow to the face. 1xN and Satab still holding the day, and look forward to your next series, but now it's another couple minutes maybe 4 or 5, depending on...
Game out. 4 items now completed. 1xn actually was just able to grab the eye edge. He does some insane damage if he's able to just sit and do what he needs to. Right now, these respawn inhibitors are going to take massive threat. Only one Nexus Tower available. This is really surely it, right?
The Shy occupying the intention of 2 on the top side, pushing in through the Baron minions.
Wait, is the Shy caught?
The Shy
Nah.
getting chunked out.
He's fine.
They have HP. Uh-oh. Big engage. Down goes Hoya. Cataclysm right onto 1xn. He flashes away. Feather will fall. Beachwan is next. 1xn jumped up by Rookie.
He's dead.
Finally, the Chain Lash connects. And IG will put an end to this series. 2-1. IG are victorious against ThunderTalk. Dealing with Alistar, Alistar can deal with 1 engage with the punt. But 3 of them at the same time? I mean, the best you can do is look for a pulverize on the way in, and then hope that Pazes gets enough distance, right? First grub rotation spawn, which very telling of where JDG want to go. Hex Flash from On tries to punish Ala, getting a lot of damage down. The Ignite early. Ala forced to flash away. A piercing arrow from Elk. One more from the E, and there it is. The first kill of the game, and it is awarded to BLG.
And not ideal that On picks that one up. He would have really preferred Elk to have grabbed this one. Short Chemtech Drake. The fact that Chemtech Drake goes down this early as well. It's not going to be the soul. It opens up a lot of the best in-class souls to fight around later on. BLG, potentially they can try stack around those.
Gonna go for it. Not gonna waste too much time here.
No, but level 6s have been ticked right here, and that's a huge benefit right now for Jun. He's going to be able to step up. If you can get that initial bit of engage right here, Vault Breaker, just to close the gap.
Flash to close the distance on a flashless Varus. Easy setup for JDG, and Pays is the recipient of the kill. Interrupt Knight on the shuffle outwards. I don't know if he has enough damage in the tank. Knight still trying to flash away. Meanwhile, JDG winning the fight in the jungle. Knight managing to escape Scout's grasp.
Going on over response will be the Drake once again. But so far, Jun has just been far more proactive than his counterpart.
Knight just TP, but he doesn't have flash. Missing. Has the unbreakable will. This will be an easy turret dive for JDG to perform. Knight already using the shifting sands, has got nowhere to go. And Shun will sink his fist into the face of his former mid laner.
And that's going to be another kill going over. JDG pick up the feats of Warfare.
By missing an Elk. And you see it reflected as well. When Scout has an opportunity, Shun tries to follow up. As now, On goes forward, knowing that missing, no ultimate available anymore on the Alistar. That's an easy setup for BLG.
Yeah, it's a very squishy cow without that unbreakable available. Now we're going to get a little bit of scrap in the top lane. Bin going in, trying to get a kill onto Ala, who has to turn tail and run.
He hits level 11. He knows that he has the kill threat, but just not enough damage. Meanwhile,
hang on.
the top side jungle,
Pays.
Way is in Narnia. The rest of BLG forced to retreat. The bullet time almost taking On's life on the exit route.
This one away. Actually, Bin gonna chase Ala, but missing is in the area again. He needs to be careful.
Called the Forge God. No flash available on Bin. Tries to dodge it. There is the knockup from the Ram. Missing follows up the brittle damage. Gets the knockup with the searing charge.
TP.
And a teleport is coming in. Scout is trying to collapse onto Bin. Does he have reinforcements? They're so far away. Missing.
There we go.
Another headbutt. Pulverize. A BLG solo laners getting collapsed by JDG's own.
We keep talking about it, but it really is crucial. If JDG want to win this one, they need to have Pays in a good spot. Well, he's got that Bloodthirst already completed. He's got 3 unresponded kills, and he's just in such a good spot. And actually, that first brick did go down to BLG, so it's all going to be On who can pick up the next one of these objectives to grab those feats of Warfare.
It's JDG. A lot of the plays have been going JDG's way, but BLG are still competitive. They are still within striking distance. One good fight is all they need to change the course and the momentum of how this game has been progressing for JDG and give themselves control of the game once again.
Exactly. I think overall, BLG, they've got the slightly easier to execute on composition. If Varus ulti, Drake is falling very quickly, though. I don't think that you can actually step up here as JDG.
Yeah. I think JDG can't really play for stealing the dragon.
Fight,
they can at least try to pick off members.
Oh, no! No!
Turn off the camera. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's not. Anyway.
He's going to re-engage. This is a masterful bait right now. Maybe it works?
But they're
when
now
do they
losing
spot
mid-prio.
it?
BLG can now brute force their way in through the river. It's a good idea. And once again, these are good ideas by JDG, but they're not overcommitting into their own folly. BLG, once they're able to muscle their way through into a response, they had to overload on the bottom side of the map just to make sure that the Otacon isn't burned down by JDG.
If you get it, I love it.
Yeah.
If you don't, yeah, now it's fully spotted out as well. TP's coming in,
Okay,
actually, they're just going to go for
right
the fight.
Missing. He's buying as much time as he can with the Unbreakable Will. Teleport is coming in from Ala. They're trying to burst it down as much as they can. Bullet time running the choke point. Ah, you pointed way right in, but he flashes away, afraid of getting completely obliterated. Bin now arrives to the party. Scout throws his life in, has the Crescent Guard, goes golden, buys so much time. The Otacon is secured by JDG, and somehow they make this play work. They have the Otacon GAs to revive, and it's all about picking up as many kills as they can against BLG. Pays and Missing can look for the exit. Knight doesn't have the Emperor's Divide anymore. Missing is picked up once again, but JDG still not finding a massive gold lead unless Pays wants to flash forward, but Bin is there, the cleanse. Oh, it was close. But it's a Summoner Spell for Summoner Spell. Now Pays has no Summoner Spells available, but Scout is now looking for Knight. He has no Emperor's Divide, but he has a flash. Scout looking. Does he have hijack? In 3 seconds, Scout has nowhere to go. Scout! Oh my goodness, Scout is on form tonight. Knight is down for another 15 seconds thanks to Scout being able to take him out in the side lane. It is still a 5v4 for JDG, 3000 HP. Wei trying to force his way in. Good
there they go.
Charge. They turn right onto the Xin Zhao. Shun secures the dragon for themselves. A nice soul point. Now here comes the fight. They already used the own ultimate. Knight is back into the fight, but he teleported right into the middle of JDG's waiting arms. And JDG are going to pick up Bird once again for themselves. The flash onto Pays. They know he doesn't have any summoner spells. Pays might fall, but what happens to the rest of the fight? Shun finds Ben into the backline. Scout is gonna join up with him as well. JDG are destroying BLG.
They really are. It's only 24 minutes into this game, and they can push forwards right now. All of the grubs, too, to be able to threaten here onto the towers. Brilliant fighting.
On the Dark Seal. 3 items. And Missing with another engage. Ala's going to line up the Call of the Forge God once again. Stops Knight in his tracks as he was trying to shift forward. And Scout finds the golden left hand once again. Subdues it in his hand and reminds him who has actually delivered a world title to the LPL.
There we go, JDG are dismantling BLG. They're going to be able to turn back around, pick themselves up the Baron, and this should be what they need to close this game out. It's going to take a miracle for BLG to be able to come back in this one. They're down by 7,000 gold. It's going to increase to 8,500 or so once this Baron falls. BLG, what can you do? It feels like they've got no options in this game.
Bro, I think
he's in such a strong position to just be able to step forwards, and the ultis are just great. TPs, double TPs, actually.
Right onto the flank of Pays. He still has double summoner spells available. Bin forced to retreat defensively. The Call of the Forge God lines up onto Knight, eliminating Bin. A massive knockup from Ala right under the tower. JDG are proving that they belong in the top 3 to be discussed as one of the best teams in the LPL, dismantling the 2-time LPL back-to-back champion in 2024.
Yeah, BLG just faltering right here. They're going to lose this game summarily. Less than 30 minutes. That's pretty fast for the LPL at this point. The first Nexus Tower will begin to fall. The second soon to follow. And there's really not too much that Elk and Knight can do. It would take a miracle right here. This game going to go down. It's going to be 1-0 JDG in this matchup versus BLG.
Basically, occupy Bin the entire time.
Yeah.
We will put him in a position where if Bin ever leaves Ala in a side lane, BLG are going to pay tenfold for it. Yep. It doesn't necessarily guarantee outright that you're going to get Void Might spawn, but every bit of extra turret damage is going to make the difference here when you have Yorick on your side. Now, JDG, more than likely going to have to swap their bot lane once again, because Ala is getting surrounded slowly by the rest of BLG, and this might have not been the safest place to back. They know that he's there, and Allah's recall is stunted for now. Doesn't have flash from the prior setup on the top side of the map. This Yorick is looking very, very juicy, and BLG will take their first kill against it. Side of the map, so that they can guarantee the second rotation of Grubs. Now Scout could be in trouble, has to flash away from the unstoppable onslaught, throws out a full combo, but Bin absorbs most of it. He's gonna shrug it off, walk away.
Pretty fast, has got that Eclipse already. That's the
look at
point
this.
at which this Neferi already gets online. Although Scout, he is under massive threat right now. Can he clear the wave fast enough? Yeah, probably. This makes it harder.
He has no flash, but you have many ways to make this turret die. Force on can tank up the turret, aggro and dodge with the repel, but you've got to use it soon, and no way to survive. The dive is a bust, and BLG looks silly if he was caught out in that moment. And because BLG have forced away the bottom lane of JDG, it gives them control of this Rift Herald, able to play a better objective game in the second one of the series so far. Getting a chance to mention here, Bloxer, I didn't even notice.
Really not worry about getting taken down really either by Scout or by Pays. But exactly right, they're not indexing into that. They're trying to get kills onto these squishies, like On, who takes a big chunk. Damage. Heal gets popped. He's pretty fast. The Spider just about going to be able to get away. Still, you're constantly losing your heal. Teleport going to have to come into the mid lane too.
Over, helped Shun with a little bit of the dragon before going back and picking up this wave. No contest from the side of BLG, and they haven't really gotten anything in response to it on the map. So JDG gonna get a chance to knock out their first tower on the bottom side of the map. Solid pressure so far.
This is exactly what I wanted to see from this Ala Yorick right now, where he's constantly pushing through on these side lanes. It means
gonna overload in the mid lane. 4 members here alongside the Rift Herald that guarantees the crash. The tier 1 will be taken, and On gonna escort the Rift Herald back out. Probably not gonna get a chance to look for a crash anywhere else. Should die by the time it On still has flash. He should be fine. Should be fine. All in a 1v2. They see both of the members here, Lilia and Knight, and yeah, Lilty Lullaby expended plus the flash. Now JDG have to do something on the top side of the map to make use of Allah's sacrifice on the bottom side, but
in the end, right? Bin stepping up right here. He's just trying to be annoying. Shouldn't try to step any further forwards. Atakan going to be picked up right there. Now you've got the false life to try to do something with.
Yeah, Scout is doing it all. He picks up the bot wave, immediately books it to mid lane. A relatively low kill game. Only 3 kills total so far. A lot of proactive farming, a lot of just strong objective trades and attempts being made by both sides, trying to outwit each other on the map. Missing, taking a huge chunk of damage. Swirling Seed connects as well. Now down below 50% HP thanks to both Lilia and Elk on the Caitlyn. Missing. Probably going to be forced to take it back here. JDG would love to secure this dragon without any contest, but the fact that Missing is super low and potentially basing, going to be forced to stay here.
Oh, that's a TP away from a Yorick.
Gotta be careful now. JDG, whether they secure this dragon or not, they
get it.
Now it's just all about everyone getting the hell out and buying as much time for Alla to split push on the top side. Bin just expended TP. Knight still has his. He's gonna be the person that has to answer. But Alla started walking on over, trying to see if they could get a collapse. Bin now just might be left to die, but he's super tanky on the Scion, absorbing pretty much everything from the side of JDG. But notably, no one from JDG with the engaged tools go in. They get the dragon blocker. They get the tier 2 tower on the top side.
Teleport comes in. This is a flank play.
I mean, Knight has flash.
Goodbye, Knight.
Alla has teleported right behind him. They had a ward waiting in that side brush. The golden left hand is taken down once again by JDG. Pretty much dead even.
This game's going to be really interesting to see. The gold graph of Missing is just dead here. There's no way he can get...
Yeah, he's popping the protobot unless they try to turn it, but the Lilia passive will burn him down. No flash available either, so there is no way that Missing was getting out. And right before the 4th The 5th dragon spawns in the game.
Can just give up this Drake. Yeah, it extends the game.
Someone
another
has
5
to
minutes.
block for Scout.
Wait.
He flashes just in the nick of time, but now he has no flash and he's up against the wall. JDG know that they cannot bail him out, but he's able to buy enough space and time. Pays able to distract him to the right side. No one could close the distance.
Ola.
That felt illegal. That felt like Scout should have died. But now
this is it.
It's just opening the gates on the top side of the map.
This is Yorick Gaming, baby! This is what we wanted to see, and straight away, JDG, they recognize that people are going to have to go back to base, they're going to have to go and deal with the Yorick, and they make a snap decision straight onto the Dragon, straight onto the Baron here, even for JDG.
I don't know if they're burning it down fast enough, and this isn't an attack speed Kalista that can ramp up a lot of spears. BLG arrive back to the Baron pit. They claim the Dragon. JDG gonna give control of the objective again. Min has unstoppable onslaught. He has cut off Shun. Is he caught out? He still has a flash available. It should be fine. Using the call of the pack to dodge the Elise Cocoon.
This Baron and the pressure through the mid lane right now that Ola's putting down. This one is just going to be gone, surely.
3,000 HP. No chance to get into the pit. That smite might have been... but face ball used by Pays. Pin trying to flash forward, looking for something, but the knockup from missing off the Fate's call ensures that Scout, even without a flash, does not get knocked up by Bin's decimating smash. But they just push them off, use the pressure, and look for the Infernal Soul instead. Wade trying to loom forward the unstoppable onslaught.
Oh no!
Steals the dragon. He denies the Infernal Soul away from JDG! And now Shun is cut off from the rest of the squad, has the Edge of Night, forced to flash away. The rest of BLG
look at
can
bot lane.
fight on
Look
proper
bot lane.
battle lines.
They have to base.
Ola is pushing on the bot side of the map. Shun trying to get as much damage on tonight before he gets a chance to finally finish the teleport.
Oh, the TP,
but now
hello?
Shun doesn't want to look for any stragglers here. It's only 4 members from the side of BLG. Scout.
Wait, he gets him!
Night
What? Ola!
in the mid lane! The York getting so much value. It's now a 5-on-4. Scout dodging out from Way's grasp.
That kill right there. Ola. Oh, hang on, wait!
JDG! They picked up
dead.
one! BLG are now down to 4 members once again. Ola is not ready on the field yet. He is just now walking down mid lane, so JDG don't have the pressure immediately from the York. Shun
with
already popping the call of the pack. Ben wants to force it, but good use of the clone by missing. Absorbs the unstoppable onslaught. Lilting Lullaby right onto Shun. Wait, wants him! Elk pops Shun in the back line, but they still have to deal with the rest of the members of JDG. Missing, going for
missing!
the pop, lost a flash, looks for Knight once again, knows that he doesn't have the flash, but Elk is the new target, still doesn't fall, still has the auto attacks, but Scout finishes him off. It's now down to Knight and Bin, still trying to hold the line, but the Dark Procession holds Bin in place, and Ola's Yorick lives up to expectations that we wanted to see for this champion, finally arising all of the previous performances. And now JDG have a 3-man push against only On and Knight.
There we go, they can push forwards onto this tower. They're going to be able to pick up the inhibitor more than likely too. There's 30 seconds until Elk's back up. Same thing for Wei and Bin. You've got a while. Don't know if they want to try push for the end. It might be a little bit too risky. JDG, they've exhibited a lot of restraint so far in this series. Once again, they're going to back off, but that's going to be 2 inhibitors down. And with the Baron up and available, what can BLG do to even step out of their base soon enough?
Not going to be a chance for BLG to contest unless On can make some kind of miracle steal with the least Spider Q, but it's not going to happen. Just trying to fish for any stragglers that get isolated.
Pouring in towards the top side, BLG, they really don't have long. They're going to have to find their play very soon if they don't want to be forced back to their base. Drake beginning to fall. We saw the steal previously from Wei.
Okay, Lilting Lullaby.
Ola flank.
Right
Ola
onto
flank.
Scout. Shun trying to burn down this dragon. Missing! Buys time! They find Elk! Ola bunks him over the head with a shovel! Shun was routed out by Knight. It's up to Pays and Scout. Here comes Ola. Knight is trying to do it all, but that golden left hand is crushed under the might of JDG's new team. Ola on the Yorick will be able to rise once again and bring BLG to their knees.
It's going to be teleports going into the base right here. JDG push forwards. They've got the inhibitors down. They've got the Baron buff up and available too. JDG are going to show that they may well be one of the best teams in the LPL right now. They are 3-0, 0 games dropped.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.